There are about 60 people or more who have been listening to this latter portion of the open house. We are now running at approximately 25 to 9. The lecture was only supposed to go from 7 till 8 o'clock. It ran overtime due to all the public concerns. There are numerous people in the room currently still chatting away. Currently, I am going to show you the map of the habitat delineation for the Jefferson salamander as identified by City of Waterloo staff. Okay, here is the map. Now, this is the pond which has been confirmed as Jefferson habitat. You can note the dots on the pond where there have been confirmed sightings. I'll just try to move this over a little. Okay, so note that there is a delineation here. I'll trace it with my finger in case it doesn't show up well on camera. This delineation is approximately 300 meters from the pond according to the city. These are all old growth forested systems here. Excluded from this protective line are other old growth forest systems here, and here's the dot confirming the presence of a Jefferson salamander who wandered beyond the 300-meter buffer zone. That little guy will be at risk. We know that this is a known habitat. The current proposal as planned will build a road over top where that little chap is. See the purple dot? That is where he was found. Over here is an extension of the protection area so that they could loop around this tiny little vernal pond or wetland feature over here. I'll get a little closer look.
Until recently.
Note the close proximity of that pond to the existing Old Hidden Valley Road. Neighbors are concerned that should the road extension take place, there will be more traffic along this area, which will put ponds like this at risk of sodium chloride related to road salt. There is the concern for the road salt issues affecting the bypass that they want to add over here. How will that affect the old growth forests? How will that affect the habitats of the salamanders and even the slugs they eat? Over here, just off the map, we have the Grand River, and at this location there has been a confirmed population of endangered mollusks. We don't know what the salt mitigation strategy will be to protect those mollusks. There have also been requests to do surveys for rare mollusks in these wetland systems, but those concerns have yet to be addressed. We have confirmed sightings of maidenhair fern, another protected species within the forest, and the plans fail to identify a reasonable measure to protect these species. As you can see, this wetland complex is actually quite extensive. There's a lot of little tributaries that sort of weave their way out of the main area. And what essentially happened was, as the glaciers melted, this was originally connected to the Grand River. As things dried up, it became an isolated wetland feature. However, this does not negate the possibility of there being fish in these zones. I don't know if appropriate benthic studies or fish studies have taken place in these areas or not. But what I will show you up close are the confirmed locations of Jefferson salamanders as found by the studies. Okay. All those little dots are confirmed Jeffersons. 300-meter protection zone, and then we have that little guy found over here in the middle of the woods, outside of the protective area. Okay, so what we are seeing here is essentially a failure to comply with the Jefferson salamander recovery strategy that was designed by the MNR and published in 2010. What we are seeing, in fact, is a fragmentation of an old growth forest. And I doubt that the salamanders would choose this open field as a means to get to and from that pond, but to assume so is a little bit irrational, seeing that there's a perfectly mature forest surrounding this entire area. Now, when I've personally walked these lands previously, I found salamanders in these areas, although they were just redbacks at the time. They do frequent these forests, and there's where the Jefferson was found. So I'm very concerned about this road project. So here's the legend to show you what the city knows of these creatures. Jefferson salamander observations are marked in yellow. The purple spot is the Jefferson blue-spotted salamander observation. Then we have delineated area for salamander breeding habitat in dark blue. Light blue is Jefferson salamander potential breeding. And then in red we have Jefferson salamander regulated habitat. That's the 300-meter buffer zone. And here's the scale just to give you a clue of what we're dealing with. So the scale is approximately 1 to 150 meters. Okay? So it's really not that much protection whatsoever. And this map is the IBI group, River Road Extension Class Environmental Assessment, Public Consultation Center, May 17, 2011. Please note, the company that produced this map is IBI Group. OMB Chair Susan Avila-Schiller was a special consultant for IBI for a number of years. I have that information at home. Thank you very much.